going down. The Pride Huggin'. Yeah, Manolo, Mr. Doe, Flo Frazier.
Came to find out that Wendy Williams is the first female talk show host to average 1,500 yards receiving in high school.
They say, P, don't worry, it's all timing. I slid in like a nigga that didn't pay, backdoor style. Shut the club down with a K. You know, NC at it again, aiming at your cabbage again. I flow with a magical blend. Step up, get dropped to a tragical end. You know the kush got my lungs about as black as my skin. From Raleigh, NC down to Duluth, Georgia.
But I did save a lot of money on my car insurance. I know some of you think I switched to Geico. I just stopped paying the insurance.
And the cat that been thinking peanuts like Jimmy Carter. Got that lava, game time not a problem. Mr. Clutch and watch me go up when I'm popping.
Lights, action, cameras flashing. Girl, you know this song.
It was all a dream.
Layback stuff. Trying to take you home.
It was all a dream.
I like the way it's going down.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? We got another episode of The Slice. We're here at 121 Fairfield Street at Benny's. I'm one of your hosts, Teron.
Yo, what's up? I'm H.L., the other one. And we have with us the one and only Lauren Polli. Is it Polli or Polly?
Polli, like Polly Pocket.
Oh, it's Polli.
Yeah, it probably is Polli in Italian, but we say Polli.
Oh, okay. Well, let me rephrase that. We got the one and only Lauren Polli with us. Yeah.
Yo, what up?
Thank you. Cheers, you
Thanks
guys.
for coming. Cheers, yes. And this is some beautiful pizza.
It's almost as big as my face. You know?
Wow.
She's going hard in the
Cheers.
face.
She's going hard.
I was serious when I was about to cheers your pizza.
Toast. Yeah, cheers. You know, COVID and all.
You already know.
We ain't biting though, so we're good. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Why are you biting them?
Oh, not yet. Oh.
Oh.
Let me get my bite.
That's not a rule that I'm not allowed to eat. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
These next 30 minutes are about you. You know what I'm saying? So, and to jump right into it.
Yeah.
The conversation that we was having before the camera started was you did a guest spot.
I had a big weekend, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. I somehow secured a guest spot on David Tell's sold-out show at Good Night's Comedy Club on Saturday.
Oh, that's congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Congrats.
He asked, I was talking to him, and he asked me if I was a local comic. And I said yes, and asked me if I wanted to do a guest spot. And obviously, I was like, yes, oh my God. So the next morning I woke up and I texted Matt White, because he's standing there, and I said, was that real life? Like, that really happened, right? And he's like, yeah, you better be ready. So I did, he gave me 10 minutes on the 7:30 show.
Wow.
And I did 9 minutes and 44 seconds. I was never happier to see that red light go off in the corner.
Boy, that red light, sometimes,
It
boy.
is the savior. It's the guiding star in the sky.
I remember one time I saw the red light, and so it thought that I just thought, thank God, but I said, thank God it was the light.
Out loud on the microphone?
Yeah, out loud. I was like, oh, thank God it's the light. And I was like, oh, that's it. But,
Yeah.
so like, how did you feel after the show?
I was shaking.
After?
I was shaking. As soon as I got down, I got off stage, and I went to grab my jacket. And he actually came out of the green room and was like, hey, great job. Like, did you have a good time? Did you have fun? And I was like, oh my God, yes, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate it. And I was like, probably running my mouth out of nerves. And then Matt came back from introducing Helen, who was featuring. And him and I talked shop, because he's always, once a teacher, always a teacher. He's always, I was one of his students, so he had to give me his feedback, which I greatly appreciate.
Yes.
And we were just talking about what I need to continue doing. Right?
Oh, this is you and Matt?
Me and Matt White,
Oh, yeah.
afterwards. And then I went outside. I had to walk around because like my adrenaline was pumping, right? I had a ticket for the show, but I wasn't ready to sit down yet. And so I walked outside, and Caleb and Aaron and Mello were standing there. They were standing in the back watching, and I was just like, it's like shaking because I was so nervous and like needed to shake it off. But I've talked to each of them about it at separate times over the weekend, and like spent the last several days processing it, and just like again, probably feel like it went worse than it actually did.
We always feel that
Right.
way.
I was standing in the back of the showroom after the entire show was over, and people were coming up to me saying stuff, great job, whatever, which was really sweet and makes you feel good, makes you feel like you didn't do as bad as you think you did. And then I went back and listened to the tape. I was like, this is terrible. I don't think they've never invited me to this club ever again.
It could have been that bad.
So what if you had to if it wasn't if
What
you
were
had to
your cringe moments?
critique yourself?
The big things that I feel happened were, one, I was so nervous. I did not start strong.
Right.
I did not start strong at all. I feel like I finished strong. But the start was a bumpy ride at the beginning,
Okay.
which was a lot of nerves. I didn't really deliver my punchlines well. My delivery wasn't as good as it could have been.
Okay.
One of our comic friends told me, he was like, you had their attention because you are a good public speaker, but you were public speaking the first couple minutes. You weren't really telling jokes.
And it's funny that you say that because that's one of our biggest critiques when we go to open mics and things on those lines. We talk about all the time how people will just grab the mic and just start talking and they don't structure their jokes.
Right.
I'm like this. I'm more liable to respect a missed punch versus no punch at all. If you're just talking for 2 minutes with no punch in there at all, it's just a conversation. But if you're like trying and you like, here's the setup. Oh, there was a punch attempt at least.
Just miss.
Right.
And just missed. Now you got something to work with.
Right.
Versus just up there. Like the worst thing you can do is just start talking.
Right. And this is not like I wasn't like trying new material. My mom, bless her heart, when I told my parents earlier in the day, my mom was, "Oh, are you gonna try a new joke?" And I'm like, absolutely not.
And then you try the new joke.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. That's the thing. Is like these are jokes that I've been working on for at least 6 months or more, and it's like I just didn't deliver that.
The punchlines.
I didn't deliver it well. Like I've done them numerous times at other places and had much better delivery.
Was it
But
the
there's
nerves?
something about the nerves being at good nights in a room holding 350 people that freaked me out. But that was the first time I'd ever done that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the first time I've ever done a room that big, and that,
And the crowd that big.
yeah. So that is an accomplishment on
Yeah.
its own.
Definitely.
And then you finish strong too.
Yes,
And
I feel like I
and that
finished
teaches
strong.
you a lot right there. It teaches you it's not how you started, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
It's not to never give up and just to keep going
Yeah,
because
just push through
because there's going to be adversity. There's going to be adversity on every show.
Right.
You know, it just happened to be at the beginning, and better at the beginning than at the end because they're going to remember how the ending, how you were feeling versus how you came in. Because you turned it around, so very good accomplishment
Right.
on that. So applause to
Thank
you.
you, thank you. I am proud of myself for that, and just even just doing it.
Just doing
And
it.
350 people is a lot of people.
Yes,
That's a lot of
a
people.
lot of motherfuckers. And
Like,
then on top of that, and I'm gonna tell you this: to make a room full of free guests laugh is easier than making a room full of people who just pay $200 on drinks and
Right.
food and tickets laugh.
There's definitely differences
Why?
between open mic crowds and
And yeah,
show crowds.
I learned that when I did the improv. I was like, oh wow, okay, so this is not good nights on Tuesday.
no, it's not. You have to actually bring your A game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned a lot.
So what do you have upcoming? What's your next moves?
I'm doing a show on I think it's the 18th of February.
That's my sister's birthday.
Devin, happy birthday, sister. Devin Roberts is doing a show. I don't think it's been publicly announced, and I don't know if the lineup is decided yet. But that's what I have on the books at the moment.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so
It'll be a little bit smaller than Dave Tell.
Just a smidgen.
Just a couple people less.
So you said you've been in it for like 2 years?
Yeah, so when I moved back to Raleigh in 2019, I was like, I need to do something to make new friends because all of my friends that were still here from growing up are married with children or living with a significant other, and I was like, I need more friends. And one of my girlfriends has always been like, you should do an open mic, you should do comedy. Because I'm a type A nerd, I literally Googled comedy classes and I ended up in Matt's class at Good Nights, and that was in the fall of 2019. And then I took an improv class, and then this little thing called COVID-19 happened in 2020.
Heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of
I think I read something about it.
something, yeah, fake news or whatever. No, we just can't work in the medical field. It's not big
Love
news.
is real.
I still have to wear a mask at work. It is 2023. Isn't that ridiculous? It's the only place I wear a mask is at work. Anyways, took 2020 off for the most part, and then kind of started back up. End of 2020, Jacob Ray, shout out. He was running a lot of mics at the end of the year, and kind of that's when it kind of started picking back up. So consistently 2 years now. I did a lot of reflecting within the last couple weeks because this time, like early January last year, I did a guest spot on a show at the Small Room at Good Nights, and then I did a 10-minute like co-feature set on someone's album recording a couple weeks ago at the new Good Nights, and the joke on the original guest set from last year I did, but it's grown immensely over the last year.
Right.
And so it was kind of cool to think about that and like how much I have grown over the last year in comedy and like how much I've evolved, and I'm conscious on stage. I'm not, with the exception of Saturday night, I am like thinking through, I know what's going on, like I'm processing it. If something happens, like I'm not freezing from nerves anymore.
Do you have a ritual? Like, do you smoke CBD, taking Adderall?
No,
or-
I just like have a hype playlist that I listen to in the car on the way and while I'm getting ready.
I have a playlist I've been listening to since 2018 that I will not perform if I don't listen to that playlist on my way to
Yeah,
the
it's
gig.
just like a bunch of rap music.
Wait a second. All right, so who's in your playlist? We keep asking her questions as soon as she take a bite.
Beyonce.
Okay.
When she's coming to Charlotte, you want to take a show?
Well, the tickets aren't out yet. But I registered to try to be a verified fan to get one. Lil Wayne is on there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Doja Cat. Who else is on there? Now that I'm on the spot, I don't know.
Of course. We
They're
just-
kind of constantly adding fun songs.
You know what the funny thing is? A bunch of white people music. Mercy Me, I Can Only Imagine is up there.
Maybe you and I should switch playlists. Actually, I don't. I like that song.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to it before I do it.
Yes, I will. That is the first song I listen to on my playlist.
That's
Tabula
hilarious.
Man covered it, but I'm a Mercy. I like the original.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Scarface. Right after that,
That is
but-
hilarious.
But then it goes to Christina Aguilera, Genie in the Bottle. And I know, don't judge me, but it's 2023.
Are you like a white girl trapped in a large black man's body?
Yeah, pretty much. When it comes to music, my music taste. Like Pocket Full of Sunshine is my shit.
That is so funny. I try to shake my ass before I go on stage.
Yeah, for me, it's like I gotta get into a mental thing, like a focus. And I can't really focus on when I'm playing hood shit.
That's
Like,
so funny.
I gotta but I've always been eclectic with my music taste. Like, I like everything.
Yeah, you work at a radio station,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So before your friends told you, or before you checked into like the classes, was stand-up comedy something that you ever thought about before?
Not really. Like, I didn't really watch a lot of it growing up or anything like that. The
Yeah.
first special I remember watching was Dane Cook. I think it was called Vicious Circle. Is that one of the set?
Yeah, was that the one where he said the atheist should basically have the Bible printed on him?
Yeah, and he had the cheater joke where
Yeah.
he's like stepping on the wood, and
Yes.
the driving one, and the neighborhood car accident. and
That's a
stuff like
very
that.
good special.
Yeah, my sister and I rented it. I think I was in high school. You know, VHS, and we were just cracking up all night. My parents were like, "We can hear you up there."
Well, it could have been. Y'all had to have a DVD.
It might have been a
player,
DVD
Yeah,
player
y'all
at
had
that point.
to
It
be
was
DVD.
in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was like,
know.
wait a second, who's buying VHS on Dane Cook? Like, it would have been.
We got it from Blockbuster.
Yeah, it was DVD.
This thing that used to exist where you rent it.
Man, people don't understand
I
how
know.
great a Friday night
Friday and
was.
Saturday night.
No,
Making a trip to
Well, we got
Blockbuster.
Friday night. We didn't need Blockbuster on Friday night because we had
Had a game
TGIF.
And then
On ABC?
Yeah, you had TGIF on
Sabrina?
Friday night. Sabrina Teenage Witch, Step by Step, Family
Boy
Matters.
Meets World.
Yeah. And then so it was a
Saturday
Saturday night thing. But then we had Snick. And if you ain't have Snick, you had the movie that came on HBO at 8 o'clock. So that
we
was a
didn't have
good
any
movie.
cable, so we have a
Oh,
Blockbuster.
yeah. So we had HBO. So if it was not a good HBO 8 o'clock movie, then yes.
Blockbuster
Blockbuster. Well, if we had Movie Gallery because we was in the country. It was a place called Movie Gallery. It was like everything. It was
The
like a
Walmart
red.
to the Target.
It was a red Blockbuster. No bullshit. It was a red and black Blockbuster that said Movie Gallery instead of Blockbuster.
Where are you from?
Mount Olive,
Okay. Okay, that's not as country as I was thinking.
the pickle
Like,
capital of the world.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you this: it's because Mount Olive is a pretty well-off city because it's taken care of by a billion dollar corporation. So like you would think, oh, it's this little podunk city, which yeah, it's a podunk city in the middle of nowhere, but there's money
Right.
flowing through that city.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
not like.
Yeah, and then we had a college, Mount
Okay.
Olive College, that then turned into a full-fledged university now.
Okay, I didn't
It started
know
off
that.
as a college. When I left to go to college, it was Mount Olive College.
Okay.
That was in 2005.
Okay.
No, sorry, 2001. When I came back in 2005, it was Mount Olive University.
Okay.
So in that 4-year period, then just the city just blew up around it and the pickle plant, and then also Georgia Pacific, another multi-million-dollar corporation is there. So it's like, and they pay their employees well. It's not like that minimum wage bullshit. that we
Right.
have. Yeah. So Mount Olive is a very dope city. That's like a hidden oasis. Yeah. But there's a hood.
in every city.
Don't worry. Like we got a Starbucks, but we also got crackheads. And I don't understand how we still have crackheads. I thought they would have like died off right now.
Nah, they never die.
Never, yeah, they're like cockroaches. They'll just like they can
They
survive
morph.
the apocalypse.
They morph into other
Yeah,
stuff.
you know what? That would be funny. Like if you did like a post-apocalyptic crackhead movie, like all of humanity has been exterminated. All you got
It's
left is
zombies
zombies and
and
crackheads.
crackheads.
Yes,
Who's gonna kill who first?
yeah.
Neither one
Who's
of them
gonna kill
died.
whom first?
And then,
Sorry.
and then the crackheads get like they migrate all the way down to the south, and they run across meth heads that are still alive, and they go to war. And that's like Walking Dead season 12, right there.
Season 12. How many seasons are we on now?
I think that they finally wrapped it.
Guys, I've never seen it.
It took me 3 tries to get to the first episode. 3 tries. I never tried that hard to enjoy it, but once you get into it, it's a slow moving first episode. But once it gets going, it is. Next thing you know, Negan's there, and when Negan pops up, that show gets real.
There are a lot of shows I've never seen. I've never watched The Office.
Now these are 2 black guys. Two
Y'all
brothers.
are like, "Ah, have you not seen that?
And we crack up on that all the time.
All I
I've
was
never
saying-
seen
if you-
Seinfeld. I've seen episodes of Seinfeld,
Seinfeld?
but it was kind of like
Alright, it comes on every night.
it was. I
At
don't
a,
have
it's
cable.
not on cable.
You still don't have cable?
No,
It's on-
I don't watch a lot of
y'all did a
TV.
good job raising this one.
Yeah.
To Lauren Polly's mom and dad, kudos.
And my salute.
She was born to cord cutter. Because it's a wasted expense. I
That's
think.
exactly why we didn't have it growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm not a TV person now.
And-
So if it's not on Netflix or
So-
Hulu,
But
Yeah.
you,
I
but
don't
you
watch
got
it.
regular network channels. CW. Seinfeld
Okay.
comes on at, if you're up.
He's a Seinfeld fan.
I have an antenna.
Same here. That's what I got that in a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Seinfeld comes on at my whole routine, TMZ. From 11:30. Yeah, it comes on after TMZ.
Okay. If
Sein-
I'm up, I'll be up
Seinfeld
tonight.
and The
I'll watch it.
Office. Seinfeld and The Office.
It's on Netflix, ain't it?
Classics.
Like
Yeah.
Parks and Rec, Arrested Development. I've not
Seinfeld's
seen
on
any of
Netflix.
those.
Seinfeld's on
Is it?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yes.
I do genuinely need to watch it because like I'm missing out so many references. And Jerry Seinfeld is like comedy god, right?
And you could be Elaine's daughter.
I know.
It's just your hood. Yeah.
I do know that. I can get that reference.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she's dope. I've always been a fan of hers.
I'm gonna tell you, honestly, I'm a Kramer fan.
Yeah.
And it sucks because he betrayed the shit out of
sucks.
us.
He did. He did.
But I was such a Kramer fan, yo. Like Michael Richards.
Michael Richards.
Like even when he was on Problem Child and he was like the bow tie killer on Problem Child, he was my favorite character in that movie.
And you remember he was also in, was it Airheads?
Yeah.
You remember Airheads?
Airheads. He was in Airheads. He was one of the executives.
It was
Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi.
old movie.
They were a rock band that took over that
radio station.
Yeah.
Trying to get that music played on the
I
Dude
feel
air.
like
wiped his
I
ass with his
probably
contract.
seen
You remember? Yeah.
I don't know, my parents, I was a sheltered child.
Oh.
But
So it was like only
I
cartoons.
listened to a lot of rap music because I downloaded it on LimeWire.
Yeah.
My mom found my sisters and Ellie's
Fuck that computer up.
We whooped our computer up. My dad, like, just the thought of LimeWire, I could like hear my father screaming in the background. What did you get this?
What was it? It was LimeWire. It was a Bearshare.
I only use LimeWire.
LimeWire was on
Oh
Bearshare.
man, let me tell you, like,
LimeWire is
luckily,
the big one.
Yeah.
luckily I was
Napster.
pretty good at removing
Napster.
viruses and stuff, man. But boy, I was, dude. Let me tell you, my mom was the worst though. My mom would download. You had to be smart about the things you would download. You had to look at how many C's it was
Yeah.
and stuff like. My mom would download anything. Like she
Yeah,
would Google.
everything.
My mom would like Google like gospel music. So it'd be like, this is a funny thing. And I think like my mom was stealing gospel music. You know what I mean? Like she was on the Shirley Caesar and Donnie McClurkin and all of these different gospel artists.
That's hilarious.
And she was getting viruses. So like
Well,
every day.
The Lord works in mysterious ways, don't he?
I was like, wow. I remember my mom beat my ass for stealing a lollipop one time when I was 4.
She better beat your ass for all the viruses she put on the computer.
Nah, she ain't beat my ass for that because I was grown. You know, like I had my own crib and shit. You know, like
Okay.
we don't get our ass after we move out. Like
Okay.
Until we move out.
I was still in like middle school and high school when we were downloading music on my parents' computer.
Oh yeah, see, I was a grown ass man.
Yeah.
When I was in when I was in high school, this is how old I am. It was 95. We had a Windows 95 computer. We were like the first kids in the block with a computer. It was a compact Rosario. And we had America Online.
Oh, well.
And I remember every kid in the neighborhood came over to watch me chat with girls. in the chat room. Going at ASL. Yeah. 14MNC.
Age, sex, and location.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, very recently, Instagram rolled out that, what's it called, Notes?
Yeah, we can post on your, and it's like a damn.
An away message from AOL Instant
Yeah.
Messenger. And somebody posted ASL, like that was like when it first went live. And it was so funny because it's like, Gen Z had no idea.
What ASL stood for.
Well, they had no idea what like away messages were on Instagram. I'm sorry, on AOL Instant Messenger. But then like Gen Z, or I'm sorry, millennials and Gen X, they all totally understood it. And so like Gen X and millennials were all like posting very reminiscent of AOL Instant Messenger away messages.
Yeah.
But then Gen Z, they were like posting all sorts of crazy stuff because they had no idea. And they're the only ones that still use that feature.
Yeah, it's funny you actually
It's
say
Gen
that.
Z.
Yeah. It's funny
Because they
you say
never
that.
did away messages. You know, with like the little funky lines and the asterisks and like the upper and lower cases and like all the wonky stuff, like BRB, TTYL, hags, like they didn't ever have that because they've been using iPhones since they were 4 years old.
And it's funny you say that because I always say that AOL Instant Messenger was the original iPhone and Yahoo Messenger was the original Android.
That's funny.
It was.
What about BlackBerry Messenger?
I mean, nobody used it.
That's
That
like
was,
iMessage.
No, I'll say BlackBerry Messenger is like the one that nobody uses. What's after iPhone and Samsung and Nokia?
Google Chat.
Oh yeah, Nokia. Yeah, but we only had those two really.
Motorola.
It was you either use AOL Instant Messenger or Yahoo Instant Messenger.
And I didn't even know Yahoo Instant Messenger was the thing.
Yeah, I love Yahoo.
That's why.
That's what the poor people use.
That's why I started out on. Appreciate it.
Like I'm dead serious. Like I'm so old that I remember when a smiley face went up with a colon and a parenthesis.
Still is.
Yeah, I mean, but now you get the whole
You need to put a.
Well, now you get the emojis. but
Yeah.
Some people still use the colon.
parentheses. Yeah, and that's what we was. That's how you said a smiley face. you said sunglasses with a B, a capital B, and a parenthesis.
A wink with a
Those-
semicolon.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
And you had to like put the work in, right? When you were texting on your flip phone.
Uh huh.
3333 Somebody did that. It was like
It took you
T9.
14. It took you 14 minutes to say I'm on the way.
66666 333
Texting drunk.
1113.
Texting drunk on T9.
Oh man, texting sober on T now.
I mean, I can barely text drunk on the iPhone, and it autocorrects half your words for you.
Yeah.
It was a great simpler time back then. It was so dope.
I didn't even text message until I had a 4-QWERTY keyboard.
I had to flip.
Like when it was T9, I didn't text. I'm not doing this stupid shit.
But I remember like growing up, I'm like, I hated text messaging. I'm like, yo, just call me, it's quicker.
Mhm.
And now,
You're
texting.
like, don't call me.
Text.
Do not. I don't have a cell phone anymore. You can text this number, and that's the only feature that works on it.
There
I
are
don't talk
literally
to
days where this is the only the only person I can talk to on the phone when my man's right. Like,
I could talk on the phone all day long. I could talk to a brick wall all day long. I could talk to a squirrel on my back porch all day long.
Hey, Mr.
I
Squirrel.
love talking on the phone. But I like to talk to people.
You have that personality.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can definitely see
I'm
that.
an extrovert.
I'm an introvert.
You know that like
I'm just
extrovert
crazy.
and introvert is like a new, you know, phrase that everyone's using all
What
the
is?
time. Extrovert and introvert. That's like one of the new.
But yeah, I'm an introvert. Some people think it's funny, but they really think I'm lying because they really, how can you be an introvert but you do stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll create just enough energy to get on stage. But ask him, normally I'm from the stage to my car, back
Immediately?
home before shows over.
So are you just completely like when you're done with a show? How do you feel? What is your
Drained.
completely?
Only way I was like, because we support each other. Like, we've been friends since 2018. If I go up before him, I'll stay and wait to see if he goes
Yeah.
up. As soon as he finished, we normally get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just that draining thing. Like being at home, it's quiet, it's peaceful. I guess they say like energizing in or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, like, I go do my set and be out.
I get sad. It's over. We'll
Well,
walk
postpartum
again.
depression.
Yeah, it's like
And then anxiety until
no,
the
it's
show.
not even anxiety. It's more that's like a crippling depression. Like,
Yeah.
back to reality. And reality, like for me, reality sucks. It's, you know, I got a job. It's a good job. I get paid well and stuff. But
Yeah.
just go to work. Come home. It's the tedious monotony of life.
Right.
Comedy for me is fun.
It's exciting.
That's my hobby. That's what I. It's like it's what I have to look forward to.
Yes.
So after I perform and I have nothing else to look forward to, like that week in between shows or whatever, it's just
Yeah.
like it's like I climb Mount Himalaya. I'm sorry, climb Mount Everest. Mount Himalaya. Like I climb Mount Everest.
Climb that one too if you want.
And it's like, all right, what do I do now?
Right.
Especially, it depends upon the show though. Like that normally happens whenever I do like a huge show. Like when I do like a open mic or something, I'm like, yeah, that was good. And that's what I like about open mics. It keeps me in the environment of comedy. But yeah, I get real sad after a show.
Yeah.
And
I
I
can't
listen
sleep.
to my playback.
I can't sleep after shows. I'm like so energized,
Yeah.
and then I crash.
It's your cocaine.
Yeah.
And you know it's crazy because
I've
we always
never
say
done
this.
cocaine, just for the record.
You should.
I'm scared,
Because
one,
she don't
that
need
I
it.
would
She
love
got it.
it.
She got
I'm
it.
scared I would love it, but two, I work at a hospital. Like,
That's why you need to sleep for 3 days.
What was the show that somebody got?
I'm telling you, bro. I think we should just get as many comics together and do some coke.
And just,
because think about how great the comics that do cocaine are.
I
Like,
mean, all the
comedy's
greats,
like-
is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Like, all the good ones
All
do
the-
cocaine?
Yeah, it's like cocaine is a performance enhancing drug of comics.
I
So we should get a control.
honestly too scared to try it.
Me too. Because I want to get a controlled setting where we all do a couple of
Well, I can
lines
name
and
a
then have an
couple.
open mic, call it like the Coke mic. And I bet you will hear the best jokes you ever heard before if you get like Raleigh's 20 best comics high on cocaine.
It'll be like a power round, because everyone's just going to be like cranking through their material.
Dude.
Everyone gets 90 seconds.
No, you get everybody 10 minutes. We'll be there all night.
and we'd be awake. So it was no problem. We would just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going and keep on going.
If you're not on stage, you just jog around the venue a couple of times, you know?
Come back ready to go.
Well, I promise this, we will have some material. We gotta record it.
I'm gonna record it.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all do the coke. I'll record it.
We gotta record it.
I'll be on standby when someone
Yeah,
needs
she got the
EMS.
medical side.
Yeah, she's gonna cut us up. She's gonna cut us up. Yeah, it was the cocaine. All right.
Medical video supplier.
Yeah, I got the supply.
We got it all.
We
set.
going skiing,
Maybe
baby.
that's what it is. Maybe I'm just my sales pitch.
We got fresh powder. We're going skiing.
You know, I might do that on stage, but you know what? Cocaine is the performance enhancing drug comedians, and I got your steroids.
I got your steroids.
Yeah. So, what's been the furthest trip that you've taken to perform?
To perform comedy, intentionally, or I was somewhere and did comedy.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, I've driven about almost 2 hours for a show.
Wilmington?
Not Kinston.
Kinston. Oh wow.
Matt had a show down there.
Okay.
How was that?
It was okay. There weren't a ton of people, but it was still pretty good. It was still a pretty good show.
So let me ask you this: what was the weirdest thing you ever got paid for doing comedy?
I don't know if I've really encountered too many weird.
For us, you want to tell them?
Hot dogs.
A hot dog?
We got paid a hot dog.
What's the worst thing that?
You were
got paid. You were
I got
compensated.
3 bottles of whiskey. I don't even drink whiskey.
Hey, that's better than the hot dog.
But the furthest from home that I have done comedy is Milan.
Oh, how was that?
It was really cool. So I was in Milan in September, and when I travel, I'm trying to like go see comedy when I'm in different places. And so I was Googling comedy in Milan, and I found an English open mic. And so I hit the girl up, and it's not an open mic the way that we have open mics. It's basically a lunch show, and she gave me like 6 to 8 minutes. And I did time on this English show. It's in a hostel, and so it was packed. Obviously. I mean, there were like 70 people. It was packed in there, and like people from all over the world. Yeah. It was so cool.
You made them laugh?
Yes. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was so cool. I had the best time.
Man, that sounds dope.
Italy, yeah.
I'm low-key jelly right now. Like, I'm just like, ooh.
I know, basically.
Like, it's such a good...
I'm a motherfucking star.
Internationally known.
On the microphone.
Internationally known Lauren Polli, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. That was pretty cool.
Now, before we end every podcast, we ask a question, and that is, what would you tell someone that was just getting into comedy? What would you tell someone that just has a question like, hey, I want to do this?
I love that you asked that, because I was swiping on Hinge, on dating apps, and I do have a photo of me on stage, and a guy responded to that photo and was like, I've always wanted to do comedy. I've done poetry slams, but I've never done a comedy open mic. Do you have any suggestions? And I'm like, okay, follow this group on Facebook for local stuff, whatever. And I was just like, it doesn't get any easier. You will always be nervous. You just have to do it. The hardest part is just doing it.
Mm-hmm. But
and getting up there and doing it.
And for me, it's not. The hardest part for me is making the conscious choice to do it at your best, at your highest level that you can.
I can get
because if you get on stage and just do it, you will just do it. But if you put your all into, like, all right, I'm up here, I can't run, let me give them motherfuckers everything I got.
I had a bad day, but I'm still going to bring the energy.
No matter what it is, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's not like, hey, let me run through it.
Yeah, because I've gone to mics on bad days, and I've just been like, and it did not go well. And then like 2 weeks ago, or last Thursday at Crafty, I was like, I don't want to be here. I'm in a pissy mood, whatever. And I'm like, I have to try this new joke. I have to try this new joke. And I turned my attitude around. It went great. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I've got a joke with legs. I can do this. But that is like, don't be afraid to bomb, because that's part of it. Not everything is going to go well, but that's okay. And have fun.
But do everything you can to avoid bombing.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is,
don't cheat it.
Like even if you write a joke run it by your homie. Like, hey, how does this sound?
Yeah.
And that's what we
Yeah,
do.
you
Yeah,
have
we-
to put effort into it.
Yeah, you don't just write a joke like, hey, I'm just gonna go do this at the open mic
Yeah.
and just see if it's gonna work. No, try to make the joke work before you get on stage and tell it.
Right.
Like, try to see if it, like it's like your phrase, if it has legs. Because like that's one thing I'm like, did you even proofread this joke before you came up here?
He wrote it in the car.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
in the car.
Like just I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, and you can tell because it has no structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Before you tell a joke on stage, make sure at least have anything else it has
Yeah.
a structure to it.
Right. And there's two things that local comics have said. One, Aaron Ransom told me one time, he said, you gotta, when it comes to certain open mics, you gotta be prepared to just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks, because that's where a lot of your best ideas come
Yeah.
from. And Mello, OG Mike Mello, he's the best. He told me, you have to bring your own energy on stage.
Yeah.
That's it.
You have to bring your own energy. And that's been something that always sits in the back of my head. And I'm like, all right, I gotta bring the energy, I gotta bring the energy. And that's why I'm like, doing jumping jacks and power posing and shaking my butt before I go up on stage, because
Yeah.
I gotta bring that with me.
And everybody has a different type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm low energy. I bring a very low, cool, calm energy. I don't bring the super
Yeah.
because I'm not that. You know,
Right.
be true to yourself too. That's one thing I would say.
Yes, that's a good.
Always be you. Be who you are as a comic.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first joke?
Oh,
on
that's a good question.
That I did at an open mic or that I did at a show.
Your first time hitting the stage.
Your first joke.
Yes, I barely remember the event because I blacked out from nerves. I was so nervous. First open mic I ever did.
What was it?
It was at Emerge.
Okay.
Rest in peace. It was when I was in Matt's class, and I was so nervous. I do not remember it. I
don't
have it
remember your first
recorded.
joke?
I mean, I remember it, and I had this 3-minute set. It was about work. It was about pathology and work and all this, that, and everything. And I'm actually starting to like pull some of those ideas out again and like work on it, because
Yes.
I work at the hospital. I don't think my job is funny, but everyone's like, your job is so like
It should give you a lot of
unique.
material.
Like you have got to start writing jokes about work. So that's the end of last year and this year. That's my challenge to myself, is to start doing more work jokes that are HIPAA compliant and appropriate.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
will
I-
allow me to keep my job.
Yeah, especially because you're the only pathologist that's telling jokes in Raleigh.
Right.
So
100%.
yeah. So definitely, I would encourage that.
Yeah.
And I would encourage this to write like the whole year
Yeah.
new. I don't give a fuck if it's stuff. If it's like wherever you're going, whatever stage you're getting on, write something new. It doesn't have to be the whole set,
Yeah.
but write
Just
something
one
new
new joke.
all year long. And then next year, just nothing but focus on revising those jokes you wrote all this year.
Yeah.
And you will see, wow. Because like that was the formula that worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you write a new 5 minutes every month, that's an hour by the end of the year.
Yeah. And then you're gonna revise it, it'll be like 20 minutes. But it'll be
Right.
a strong but when I tell you it'll
Yeah.
be a strong 20
Yeah.
minutes, it will be a strong fucking 20 minutes.
Right.
Straight gangster.
And you know, Caleb, literally last night, Caleb Elliott told me, he said, don't be afraid to lose time in your jokes, because a good tight 5 is so much better than loose 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and that's what's taking me so long. It's 5 years and I finally got an hour.
Right.
But it's a good hour.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
a bullshit hour that's been put together. Not saying no one does bullshit hours. I'm just saying my hour.
Yeah,
is
I so badly want 20 minutes, but like,
You have
I'm
to
just
real
not
to-
there yet.
And
I'm
it
not there
happens.
yet.
20 minutes is a lot of time.
I can do a loose 20. I can do a
Well,
loose
tight
20.
20.
Have you?
I have. I've done very, very loose.
Uh-huh.
Where I'm very honest. I'm like, I'm trying a new joke. Okay.
That's a loose 20.
Yes. But I've done it, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
did 350 people. It wasn't A++.
Right, but
But
that's
I
the
did
thing.
it, right? So, but then that we're taking these small steps. We're picking up tools to put in the toolbox from each of these things.
Right. Yeah, because the thing is, next time David Tell comes like, oh yeah, I remember you did that.
He goes,
It's
yeah,
like,
I hope he's
let's
not
just-
like you.
All right, so
Fly,
we're
Eagles,
back for the
fly.
last time.
Oh, you're an Eagles
Absolutely.
fan.
I went to grad school in Philly. My dad and his family are all from Philadelphia, or from the
area.
Pennsylvania, bigger Philadelphia area. My cousins are huge Eagles fans, so go Birds.
That's what's up. So you got any last words you got for the people?
Be good to yourselves, and don't, just laugh. Life, you can either laugh or cry about things. That's what I always say to people. I'm like, you can either laugh or cry about things. I choose to laugh, so I hope you do too.
That's what's up.
Oh wow! See, I took that a whole different way. I was like, you need to laugh and cry about things, but either one of them ain't gonna solve shit.
Well, you know,
I'm just joking.
you have
I'm
to
just
don't laugh when it's inappropriate.
I'm negative as fuck right now. That's all. Nah, that's really dope.
Yeah.
That's actually real good. Cause like me, I always say, don't cry. 'Cause what you gonna do? You're just gonna cry. You're just gonna get the problem with.
Yep, I just try to laugh through things because it's a lot easier to cry
Yes,
through things.
yes, exactly. 'Cause you can't hold on to a problem if it's slippery.
What you got? What you got?
What I got,
for me?
you know what I always say. I always say, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Because those rules I live by.
Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, we appreciate y'all coming to another episode of The Slice.
Slice. Thank y'all for having me. This is really fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, great! I'm glad you came.
Yeah, no, I
Appreciate
loved it. This is great. When y'all said Benny's, I was like, I am there.
You know, everybody loves Benny's, located at 121
Love Benny's.
Fayetteville Street in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep.
Pizza's dope. I've been eating it a lot these past couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure.
Yes. That's why I'm bigger than both of them put together.
But we out.
Salute.
Salute.
Bye. Ciao. It's Italian, you know? I'm an
Yeah,
international star.
What's
It
Chabella?
don't make sense. CIAO.
Chabella. What's
Well,
Chabella?
CI makes the ch sound in Italian.
Yeah.
That's why it's ciao.
It's Kiao. Or Cia.
Yeah.
The way it going down. The pride hugging. Yeah, yeah. Manolo, Mr. Doe, Flo Frazier, out. I spit it in, look at the just no rhyming. Quick to say P, don't worry, it's all timing. I slid in like a nigga that didn't pay, backdoor style. Shut the club down with a K. You know NC at it again, aiming at your cabbage again. I flow with a magical blend. Step up, get dropped to a tragical end. You know the kush got my lungs about as black as my skin.